So you guys put together a great curriculum. So maybe the highlights of, what lectures were people really clamoring at, and what was the breaking news or any interesting things that you guys even learned.
Some of the feedback that I got from some of the estheticians I kind of chit-chatted with after the session, they really enjoyed the breakout sessions that we had, mostly because our esthetician is such a community, and we're such people that love other people.
Yeah.
And so a smaller, more intimate setting and a chance to actually talk to some of the speakers and faculty and getting to pick our brains around certain topics. Some of them were like, oh my gosh, that was my favorite part.
I love hearing that, because that was new this year and we talked about it. We really wanted to bring the community.
And I think it was really successful. It resonated with our audience. Yeah, really well. And then I had performed a Moxie laser demo sponsored by Sciton, and some of the audience, they're not laser certified. It depends on where you practice, what the laws are in the state. Here in Texas, we have 2 separate licensures for estheticians and laser professionals, which I hold both.
Oh, interesting.
And so some of the girls who don't know much about lasers came up to me and asked me, like, that's so cool. Like, how do I learn to do that? And I'm like, well, we got to see where are you located and those things. But just for them to be able to realize that depending upon where they practice as an esthetician, they are capable under doctor delegation to provide those types of corrective services.
Oh, yeah. That's great. I love that.
Yeah. So a few things that stand out for me. One is, echoing that, we're estheticians, we're in the relationship business. We just happen to do skincare, right? So having those breakout sessions, where, you had that kind of connection time, we love that. But speaking of relationships, the Alexis Robertson did one on setting boundaries in the treatment room. And that was really well received because, again, we value relationships. Estheticians are caregivers. And a lot of times we don't do a great job at setting boundaries with our clients. Somebody shows up late, right? Sometimes we don't want to be like, hey, I have to cut your treatment short. We don't want to hurt their feelings. And so, or no shows, right? You have people that got on your schedule and they don't show up, and then enforcing cancellation policies and things like that. So that a lot of people really like that because she gave some good phrases to say, to help. Exactly.
Helpful.
And so I thought that was really good. And then ingredients, right? Estheticians love to know about ingredients. So the fact that we had 2 chemists, that spoke about ingredients, that was really, really informative. And I mean, you could see by how many people were in the room. It was standing room only
I was standing
for one of them.
The cutting of the breaking kind of all of the new ingredients.
Yeah, and Valerie George did a really great job from a cosmetic chemist perspective.
Yes.
She was really good at talking about trending ingredients.
Yes,
so PDRN and exosomes, but did a really good job at, kind of the pros and cons, but she was really objective about it.
Right.
And,
is she a chemist?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Formulator.
She was really very good.
Yeah.
I was thinking she was extremely knowledgeable. She talked about probiotics.
Exact. She's a researcher.
I love so much about the education that we provide here, because if it's not a sponsored product theater directly from a brand, all the other education that we deliver to our attendees is able to be applied across the board.
Right.
I know I've attended so many other esthetician conferences where every single talk track is sponsored by a brand and then they're only talking about their product.
Right.
But I love how we've worked so hard to try to keep so much of this information translatable into generalized practice to strengthen our skills.
Yeah.
And I know you spoke on acne treatment, which is a specialty of yours. And I'm shocked when I'm talking to the estheticians here how much acne they're treating.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. So I heard the beginning of your talk, but not all of it. But the room again was totally packed because it's such an important subject.
Yeah. Well, and as estheticians, that's really kind of our bread and butter because that just oftentimes requires our hands,
Yeah.
right? It's, so especially for like solo estheticians, they don't have a medical director. They don't have the lasers and the big fancy machines, but that's kind of how we all kind of start. And then as we grow in our career and maybe, move up and then get a medical director, and now we can do, more aggressive things. But acne is really the foundation of estheticians, both teen and adult acne as well.
Yeah.
It's that bread and butter.
Yeah. Yeah, it is bread and butter. It's our bread and butter too, by the way.
Yeah.
Derms, it's the number one diagnosis in the derm practice.
But I mean, and here's the thing, and we're all looking for a cure, right?
Yeah.
And the reality is acne is a skin disease for which there is no cure, right? I mean, when I started 37 years ago, I was trying to help people cure their acne, and today, 37 years, here I am. Like, what's changed, right? So, and that's what I always say is like, everyone's like, oh my gosh, the skincare industry, so many advancements or whatever. But I was like,
yeah,
we're still trying to, how much advancements can there be? We're still trying to cure acne. We still haven't solved that one. And I remember probably about 10 years ago, there was supposed to be a vaccine for acne. And I wrote a blog post about this, and it was like, oh my gosh, and never came to.
Stay tuned, because it's still on the front burner right now.
I'm sure, but
stay tuned.
But it's been 10 years and still hasn't come to fruition. So I'm like, there's still, and I think, I mentioned in my acne talk, which is, our skin is as unique as our fingerprint, right? And that's the challenge, is it's so specific to every, it's just not, it's not black or white.